and welcome to our third River Valley civilization. Today we'll be focusing on India. Let's review those 6 columns on our chart. First, we have specialized workers, then cities, and then written records, and then technological innovations, government, and religion. Remember, as we read through this information, we're trying to categorize it into one of these columns as we read to help us make connections amongst all of the River Valley civilizations. Let's dive into India. Alrighty, first up, it says more than 5,000 years ago, the Indus River Valley became another of the first centers of human civilization. In this region, as in Egypt and Mesopotamia, a river deposited rich soil over the neighboring plain during its annual flood. This is important background information and it does help us connect to Mesopotamia and Egypt, but it doesn't actually give us any information for the chart, so we'll just keep this in mind as we move on to the next section. Okay, the next section is called Agriculture and Building. Farmers grew barley, wheat, dates, and melons. Food surpluses allowed people to build large cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Each of these cities had more than 30,000 people. More than 1,000 cities and settlements belonging to the Indus River Valley civilization have already been excavated. The artifacts found in these settlements suggested a technologically advanced urban culture. Dockyards, granaries, warehouses, brick platforms, and protective walls were present in many of their cities. They were also among the first urban planners, with almost all of their houses connected to public sewers and a water supply. These people, known as the Harappans, were also the first people known to make cotton cloth. Okay, definitely found a lot of things that I could add here to my chart. So I've got my Mesopotamia and Egypt chart, so I'm flipping it over, and now I'm on to India, and then later we'll do China. Okay, so on here we have some city names, so I would definitely record Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. I put 30,000 plus people just because it's interesting, but it's not required. We just need to know the 2 city names. Okay, we also have a lot of technological innovations. The reading mentions dockyards, granaries, warehouses, brick platforms, and protective walls. Urban planning would have been an innovation for the time. Planning where the houses go and how to connect them to sewers is actually very advanced. And then cotton cloth. Cotton cloth would be considered an innovation because they're the first ones that really made it and used it consistently. The next and final section is trade and collapse. It says trade was an important part of the Harappan economy. Many small clay seals, probably used for trading purposes, have been discovered by archaeologists. They also have found kilns for making pottery and evidence of the use of metals. The Harappans developed their own form of writing, although scholars are still unable to decipher it. No one knows exactly why the civilization collapsed, but its end occurred suddenly. So under written records, I noted undecipherable written records. I'm looking at my list. They did also mention some specialized workers. So if I look back in the text, it says that there were people working in pottery and metals. Good, we have an economy. They used clay seals for trading purposes. The seals could be specialized worker creation. That seems reasonable. Some things I noticed that this text doesn't focus on, but we definitely want to record on our chart, is we have priestly behavior, and they would perform daily rituals. So the priests would perform daily rituals, and it provided them a position of authority. So if you wanted to write that in both government and religion, being a priest offered them a position of authority, both in the religious aspect and in the government aspect. Otherwise, I don't have anything specific about the government from our text that we're using for this class. So stay tuned and we'll take a look at China next. Thanks for joining me.